When it comes to portrait photography, there are so many different elements required into getting the perfect moment. I'm at this amazing warehouse studio to meet Michael, aka Kid Circus, a portrait photography extraordinaire, to learn about the basics of portraiture. Let's go.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael. I go by the name Kid Circus and I'm a fashion and portrait photographer based in London.
And what are we doing here today?
So today we're going to concentrate on portraits, portrait photography, how you choose your lens and camera kit, how you light a scene, how you light a person, and how you direct a model.
So Michael, how'd you begin to approach capturing portraits?
Capturing portraits for me starts with the person in front of me, making a connection with that person so that I can get them to feel comfortable as possible in front of the camera before I start taking shots.
And who do we have here?
I have my assistant here, Jose, just so that I can check that the lighting's right, take some test shots, but eventually it will be you.
Oh, okay. I'm excited about that one. And to begin with, what kind of camera are we going to be using? What's the kit?
Got an R7 camera here, so it's a crop sensor, so you get a longer focal length, which for me gives a nice compression and less distortion for when I'm going in for a slightly more close-up headshot.
How'd you begin to set up the lighting for your portrait photos?
So we've got just some natural light, window light. It's just a good, nice flat light to capture some good light around the face and the background and the environment.
And what lens are we going to be using today?
So I'm using today a 50mm lens on the APS-C sensor.
Why is that important using that 50mm that you've got there?
With wider lenses, you could get distortion, say, in the nose area of the face or the eyes if you're using, say, something less long like a 35 or even a 24. That for me is what gives you a nice standard composition, nice standard perspective of the face.
So what's next?
What's next? I'm going to take some test shots of Jose over here just to check that I'm happy with everything, and then I will get you to take his place.
Yes. Okay. Let's have a look.
Jose, thank you.
And what sort of settings have you used here?
So here I'm currently at 200 for the shutter speed and I'm shooting at 2.8. So it's going to give me nice steady shots. It's comfortable enough for me to feel like I've still got enough detail in the face, balanced with separation from the background.
Okay, makes sense.
Jose, thank you for your assistance. Tommy, it is time.
It's time.
Have a seat. Having you sat down is an immediate way to make someone feel comfortable, because sometimes they might feel like when they come into this space, which can be quite intimidating, if it's a studio, they feel like they have to stand. So I would rather you just sit how you feel comfortable. If you want to sit cross-legged, that is absolutely fine. Whatever's... Exactly. See?
I see that you're moving around a lot. How do you make sure that I'm still in focus each and every time?
Well, the great thing about this camera is you have the option of eye detection or face detection. So it will lock in on you and it will keep you exactly where I need you to be so that you stay in focus.
How do you make sure that you got the right exposure?
It's kind of that balance between making sure I've got enough shutter speed, fast enough shutter speed to make sure I capture you accurately without motion blur being introduced, and also ensuring that I'm using the electronic viewfinder to use the what you see is what you get aspect, so that I can see immediately that I'm happy with the exposure. I mean, at the moment I'm shooting manual, but obviously you have semi-automatic modes that you can use as well. It kind of does a little bit of the thinking for you, but again, it still ensures that you're exposing correctly.
And what other modes are there?
So you have modes like aperture priority, where the camera will decide for you the shutter speed, but you control the aperture and the depth of field, or you have shutter priority, where you control the speed and the shutter speed of the camera, but it is thinking for you, it's setting the aperture for you. That's great, hold that right there, fantastic.
How do you approach instructing your model on how to pose?
So sometimes I will sort of give them an emotion. For instance, I could say, let's just pretend you're a family member who you think has told you a lie. maybe you could look at them with a little bit of suspicion. This is Bond villain suspicion, but things like that, giving them a little scenario. Again, for me, it's the kind of communication, establishing rapport. Often they will come up with their own suggestions, which can be really useful. It becomes a bit of a back and forth thing, and that's what helps you get better shots.
Nice. And it tells you what settings you used as well. So
yes, so it's good to have that information, for when you go on and do other work. And then again, all those things start to become more muscle memory. You start to get to know what you like.
Yeah.
How much depth of field you like.
Bottom corner there, you've got a raw JPEG.
Yes.
What's that?
So you've got that option of having all the information of a raw file, but then if you have a client and they'd like to see what you shot sooner, then you can share JPEGs with them that are much lower res with all the information that you get in those kind of files as well.
Amazing. There's a lot of really good stuff there that I've learned today, and you've also made me look good, so I can't complain. I'm impressed. Any final takeaway?
It's making the person in front of you feel comfortable, trying to establish a connection with them, dialogue, communication, because it doesn't matter how good you think your kit, your gear is. If the person in front of you is not very comfortable, unfortunately, it will affect the final results.
Thank you very much, Michael. There you have it. So make them feel comfortable, because it can make or break your portrait photos. Thanks for watching.